You're listening to the Lofi Music Academy podcast, your go-to space for all things lo-fi. Sit back, relax, and let's dive into the world of lo-fi music production.
Hi, and welcome to the Lofi Music Academy podcast. I'm Spencer J, your guide through the chilled-out, atmospheric world of lo-fi beats. Today, we're diving into one of the most crucial elements in lo-fi music, incorporating piano and keys. Whether you're crafting laid-back, chill beats or emotionally rich soundscapes, piano and keys play a major role in setting the mood and defining the genre. So grab your headphones, get comfortable, and let's explore how you can master this essential part of lo-fi production. Firstly, let's start by discussing why piano and keys are so important in lo-fi music. As you may have noticed, piano often takes centre stage in a lot of iconic lo-fi tracks. It's versatile, emotional, and has that natural warmth which perfectly complements the lo-fi aesthetic. Whether you're creating a mellow, nostalgic vibe or adding a bit of jazz influence, the piano can serve as the foundation for your entire track. When you think of classic lo-fi, it's not just about the beat, it's about creating an emotional experience, and nothing communicates emotion quite like the piano. The piano gives us those rich, warm chords that soothe the listener and help tell a story through sound. The next step is choosing the right piano or key sound for your track. You don't need a grand piano sound. In fact, polished or pristine piano sounds don't really fit in with the lo-fi aesthetic. You're looking for something warmer, perhaps a little bit dirty, with some imperfections. These imperfections, like slight detuning or noise, help to build that nostalgic, worn-out feeling that defines the lo-fi music genre. You can find a lot of great virtual instruments for this. For example, plugins like Spitfire Audio Labs, Soft Piano, or the Tape Piano. They give you that dusty, intimate piano sound without overwhelming your mix. A top tip is to add some tape saturation or even vinyl crackle using plugins like iZotope Vinyl to make your piano sound even more vintage and textured. This will blend your piano into the track seamlessly and give it that classic lo-fi feel. Once you've found the right sound, the next step is crafting your chord progressions. Don't overcomplicate things. Lo-fi is all about keeping it simple and letting the chords breathe. A 2 or 3 chord progression can go a long way, especially if you're playing around with 7th or 9th chords to give it that jazzy, soulful edge. Start with the basics. For example, you could use a progression like C major to F major. If you want to add some more emotional depth, try adding a 7th or 9th to those chords. You'd be surprised how much more colour this brings to your track. One key aspect of lo-fi production is balance. Your piano or keys shouldn't overpower the other elements like your bass, drums or ambient textures. Instead, they should complement these elements, allowing the listener to focus on the overall vibe of the track. A great way to do this is by using soft, minimal melodies or arpeggios that sit just behind your main beat. You can also experiment with panning to keep your keys from clashing with the other instruments. A top tip is to use subtle automation on the volume of your piano or keys to give them some movement. A slight fade in or fade out can make your track feel more alive without being too obvious. A great way to elevate your keys in a lo-fi track is by layering them with other sounds. Pads, soft synths, or even subtle ambient noise can help fill out the track without making it feel too crowded. For instance, you could layer your piano with a low volume synth pad just to give the track some more depth and atmosphere. You can also try using some light reverb or delay to make the keys feel more spacious. And don't be afraid to experiment with effects like chorus or tremolo to give your piano a slightly wobbly, detuned character. This can add to the lo-fi feel, making your track sound less polished but more authentic. As with anything in music production, practice makes perfect. Don't be afraid to experiment with different progressions, sounds and effects until you find what works best for you. The beauty of lo-fi is in its imperfections, so embrace the raw, unpolished vibe and don't stress about getting everything perfect. Try using the techniques we talked about today in your next track. That's it for today's episode of the Lo-Fi Music Academy podcast. I hope you found these tips helpful for incorporating piano and keys into your lo-fi productions. Remember, piano is an emotional instrument that can truly bring your track to life. Whether you're using it as a centerpiece or a subtle background texture, it plays a key role in defining the lo-fi aesthetic. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing, leaving a review, or sharing it with fellow music producers who might find it useful. Until next time, keep creating, stay inspired, and remember, it's all about the vibe. Take care and see you in the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in to the Lo-Fi Music Academy podcast. If you're ready to start making lo-fi music and want to go even deeper, grab your free guide. Discover the 6 essential steps to create a release-ready lo-fi track from scratch. Whether you're using budget gear in your bedroom or a small home studio, this guide will help you get that polished, dreamy lo-fi sound you're after. Just go to www.lofimusicacademy.com. Until next time, keep creating those laid-back vibes, and don't forget to subscribe for more lo-fi tips and tricks.